When you step into Blairsden, the site of this year's Mansion in May show house, you're greeted with a grand reception hall designed by Richard Gacek. We're going to go talk to him and find out what inspired the space. So you have this huge space and it's all in eye shot. How did you approach the space?
It's kind of a grand reception hall in this 1905 mansion, and it's 85 feet by 28 feet with 15-foot ceilings. If you take it in portions and in doses or courses of a meal, it's much more palatable. So I took that approach in this large space.
You mentioned that you would imagine sort of the family greeting guests in this space as it was traditionally used, but were there any other tidbits that sort of you kept in your mind?
Well, just generally, the fact that it was a family home. I mean, we lose sight of that in today's world, that this was the family retreat and their home. All the Blair's daughters were married here over the course of years that they lived here. So it was truly a family and extended family experience. So from that standpoint, family evokes warmth, intimacy, and a place that you want to spend time together. Even though we're viewing this building in its magnificence and the family that once lived here, there's a softness to it, an approachability to it.
How about from an aesthetic vantage? Where did you begin there?
One of the things that I looked at was taking a meandering view, things that you might get in a woodland experience, which is about light, texture, the pathway. The pathway is somewhat random and curving and broken and segmented, but it's also led by a vista. So I took the opportunity to kind of guide your path through textures and lighting. At the same time, I wanted to create a woodland view from walking in the woods, looking at the light. So there's a moonlight view on this side of the room, and there's a daylight view from the other side of the room through these metallic, jewel-like qualities of finishes.
What did you have the most fun sourcing? You mentioned this very cool rug here, but there's a lot of beautiful details. Was there anything that was particularly fun to shop for?
There are several pieces, starting with the area rugs that we're standing on. They're handmade in Turkey of vintage-inspired classic rugs that are vegetable dyed. Then they're cut into pieces and patchworked into a pattern.
They're so cool.
So I was inspired by the abstraction of a chevron pattern, a very classic French, in-style piece, and that's where that came into play, along with the infusion of the radiant orchid as an accent, but in a weathered, soft way, very much like the woodland. In the sense it's very organic and it's very gentle. And then the main focal points in the rooms are these beautiful landscapes painted by Evan Harrington. And they're particularly captivating because they're inspired by the local landscape, as our design was, and they're also utilizing a classic 120-year-old style of painting that was revolutionary of its time.
So people that know your work or people that might want to work with you, what will they notice as a signature style in this space?
Refined livability, refined relaxation. The idea it's a living space, a space to be able to enjoy it and be approached, but it's meant to be refined as well.